Jim Wagner, it's delightful to have you on the podcast in the back of a shred truck of all places.
How you doing, Tom?
Good.
I'm happy to be here. This is, as I said, out of my element, but
I know.
We'll give it a go here.
And you know, there's no editing. There's no editing. We don't edit. We just go with whatever happens.
Oh, I'll try to watch my language.
I
then.
know. So if anything happens, it's all good. It just we've not rated it for children on YouTube. So whatever happens,
no
okay.
5-second delay or anything.
No 5-second delay.
Okay, we're live, baby.
So tell me who you are and what do you do? Like, give me a sense of who Jim Wagner is and what your company is, and give me that whole thing.
I'm Jim Wagner.
Yep.
I am currently president of Allegheny Shredders. I am co-owner with my brother Tom. Our business was started way back in the late '60s by a guy named John Wagner, my father.
Yeah.
And he's been gone about 11 years here. And so far, Tom and I have done good things, and we're still in business. So hopefully he's looking down and being proud for that.
I only know he is because I had the privilege of meeting your dad, and an amazing man. So there's a lot of trucks running around, but that's not your game. You're not in the truck business.
We were in the truck business for
Yeah.
a short while in the early 2000s. I was very thankful to get out of the truck business when I did. There's some beautiful trucks out there, some great manufacturers. We dabbled in it. It didn't work out for us, and we decided to move on. So
Yes.
our main
your main thing is big shredding equipment. And
Yep.
I've had the luxury, and I think this is worth everybody in this industry, is go see what you build. Go see how you build it. But I've had the luxury of being in your plant, and you build. I think when I was there, you were building something that was so big it could swallow trucks.
Yeah,
whole.
the big shredders that we do build, they weigh about 50,000 pounds each. We set them in tandem, a 2-inch shred width to a 5/8 shred width. We can process over 20 tons an hour through those shredders. And we also make all the feed conveyors and accompanying equipment. We do complete turnkey systems.
Right.
We bring in, dust handling equipment, baler companies, whatever it takes to
Yeah,
put
you
these
really
systems
built
together.
like completely integrated systems, right? When somebody
Yes.
comes to you and says, "Here's our footprint, here's the bill," or
Yes.
probably they come to you a lot of times even before they know which building they're going into and saying,
that does happen.
Yeah,
That does happen, and we're very good at what we do. I got a great group of guys,
Yeah.
a lot of long-term employees, some of them over 40 years, a lot of them in the 30 years, 25 years. In fact, that's going to be one of my problems. Everybody's getting old, including myself.
Yeah.
But my father left me and my brother a great company.
Yeah.
He was a firm believer in let's do it all in-house. So that's why we have the complete manufacturing we do all the design, the manufacturing, the finish work, the electrical work, anything we can do in-house, we do.
Right. And like you said, it's not that you just build big, massive equipment. You have a whole line of.
We have a complete line of shredders, and in fact, we're the only manufacturer that builds strip cut, cross shred, cross cut, pierce and tear, single shaft rotary. We also have a small line of closed door balers. We have a complete line of hard drive shredding equipment. We have 2mm destruction equipment for not only solid state hard drive, but also magnetic hard drive. So we really do a vast array. And I always tell everybody, we are in the information destruction business.
Right.
That's what we do. So if you have some form of information, we have a means of destroying it for you to whatever spec you want.
Yeah. So one of the interesting things about you, and I've had the luxury of being in your plant, but you actually have a shredding company. You build shredding equipment, but you also have a shredding company. And I always thought that was kind of an innovative way to think about it, because you get to do it, but you also get to experience it in terms of the way your clients of the shredder business, you're like essentially a client of your company, and you get this really unique insight that I think is fascinating, because like you see the small nuances of things. Like I've been in your shredding plant for your shredding operation, which is not where you're building them, where you're actually doing the work.
My father, I'll give all the credit to him on this one. I go back to the mid-'90s, and we developed some automated feed systems, some larger shredder systems. And he says, well, the best way to show clients of what we can do for them is let's build and operate a shredding service.
Yeah.
So we do that. It used to be off-site, about 10 miles down the road on my father's property, but that's since got moved, and it's been in-house here for the last 10 years. So we, in the same building that we manufacture the equipment, we run a shredding business.
Yeah. So one of the things that, because you have such deep roots in the industry, from your dad through you and your brother, and just you've had so much exposure and experience, and with big companies, with small companies, with lots of different stuff. You have your own shredding business. Where do you see things evolving to? Because the industry keeps changing, it keeps evolving. You're undoubtedly constantly thinking about what's coming next. Where are we going? What are you seeing in the future? What, if you had a crystal ball and you could sort of picture out 10 years, what's happening in this industry in 10 years?
I think it's the hard drives. It's the electronic media. They got magnetic hard drives. You got solid state hard drives. Things get smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's, the innovation of not only storing information, but
Yeah.
how are we going to handle the destruction of how they store that information moving forward? 2 millimeters, which is required in certain parts of the destruction world, that's small.
Yeah.
That's 78 thousandths of an inch. So that's very small. Is that going to have to go smaller because
Right.
of technology? So
Right.
to me, it's I see hard drives, and I think it really exploded with COVID because everybody was stuck in their house on their device
Yeah.
and just running the data up. And I don't know if everybody realizes what a data center is or what the cloud is. The cloud is a block building with a bunch of hard drives.
Just computers.
And I think a lot of the general public thinks, okay, it's just floating around in the sky. It's not.
No, it's just somebody else's computer.
It's somebody else's computer, and those hard drives, they wear out, they need destroyed.
Yeah, and they work 24/7. They never stop.
That's right.
Yeah.
I wished I would have invented the hard drive and manufactured those. 'Cause
Right, right.
That's got to be really lucrative.
So when you guys are thinking about, because as you see the market changing, and historically it was paper, and then we moved into hard drives. Is it a fundamentally different way of thinking about how a shredder operates, the actual physical? Or it's the same, and it's just you have to maneuver the actual?
No, your second part of that's absolutely correct. It's similar.
Okay.
So you have a motor, a gearbox, you have shafts, you have gears, you have cutters. So it really doesn't matter what you're putting in those cutters, whether it's a hard drive, whether it's paper, it's going to destroy it. Now,
Right.
how you introduce that product to it, how you may size those cutters in the machine for the different
Yeah.
product you're trying to destroy and what spec you need to get to.
Yeah.
So the hard drive shredders, at least the slitter type hard drive shredders, it's a modified paper shredder. Same
but
deal.
does it use, like, I've often wondered this because I'm just curious all the time. Like, is it a different kind of, like, with paper, you go, well, if it's just a metal thing, grinding or cutting, like once you go to hard drives, are you having to change the type of metal, or like does it work the same? Or are you having to introduce new?
It can work the same.
Okay.
It can to a point.
Yeah.
It's going to work the same.
Oh, okay.
And you're going to wear your cutters much quicker shredding magnetic hard drives than you are solid state drives,
Right.
or paper. But paper's wears cutters too.
Oh yeah, it's hard on cutters, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's very dense.
Yeah.
You think of try to rip 100 sheets of paper in half with your hands. Then try to imagine what the shredder has to do do that, whether it's cross cut or strip cut.
Right.
And it's a lot denser than you might think it
Yeah.
is, and it's also abrasive. Paper's very abrasive to steel. So
Yeah. So, like we said, you've built some really big equipment. But if you could, based on your history and leadership now at Allegheny, what's your favorite piece of equipment? Like I don't know.
Wow.
I think sometimes equipment guys like certain things. Like there's certain things you go, I just love the way that one operates. I'm always intrigued. Like, what's the thing that you love? You just go, I love that machine. Or
I'm in a unique situation because I get to be on the design end.
Yeah.
Watch it go through the shop, the fabricating, the machining, all coming together, the actual physical building of the machines.
Yeah.
Which at 61 I still do, and I still love it. You're never going to see me in a suit and tie. I am a hands-on
Oh no, I've
guy.
seen you walking through the plant. Like you're right there.
No, I'm out there. I love doing that
Yeah.
stuff. So when I have the ability, and it really doesn't matter which machine it is,
Yeah.
from the design stage to actually seeing it or installing it at a customer's plant and watching it process whatever we're processing through that plant. That is such satisfaction to me. And not everybody gets to do that because
Yeah.
a lot of people are just, they're stuck in their one part
Yep.
of that. And I have the ability to go throughout the whole thing, which I feel very blessed to do. And that's what keeps me going. That's the passion behind what I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me a challenge. How do you do this? How do you get to this size? How do you destroy this? That's the fun.
Yeah. So it's not so much the machine itself; it's the
Process.
bringing it all together that really excites you.
Yeah, but seeing some of our large paper shredding systems
Yeah.
and how you convey 20 tons of paper and process it and watch it go up to the baler and that's just that's cool to see.
I do remember, and again, I have the luxury of having been in your plant, but I remember when I was there, you were working, and I don't know how big this thing was. This was, I seem to recall you saying it was one of the bigger ones you'd ever built. And like, it was just like you were radiant about this thing. It was like, this thing is going to rock. Like this thing is going to plow paper through it.
Yeah, I do carry a lot of pride especially when I show somebody through the plant because the machines we make, awesome.
Yeah.
Some of the things we can do, the team we got behind all that, awesome. And it's just to me it's a lot of fun. My dad always used to say retirement's a dirty word. Now he was in his 80s saying that.
Right.
I'm in my early 60s. I don't know if I'm going to quite go that far.
Yeah.
But I know why he did what he did.
Yeah.
And
Well, one
stay
of the
with it.
things I've always appreciated about you guys is just the joy or the love of this thing. The shredder mom who was with you for so many years and worked with
Great
your dad,
lady.
who I love dearly and is such a big part of this industry and has been for many years. But what you always got from from Allegheny was this sense of we love this thing we do. We love what we're doing. We love what we're a part of here.
Yeah, it's a lot of passion.
Yeah. So, well, Jim, thank you. It's delightful to talk to you. It's delightful to hear your passion about continuing to do this really cool thing in the world. We live in such a strange little industry. I love it. I love the fact that we live in this tiny little niche in the world, and people go, shred paper. What are you doing?
Yeah, they think of the little wastebasket shredder next to their desk.
And we, you build
a big
this
world.
really incredible stuff. So thank you for all you do
Tom, I
in the
appreciate
world and
you.
the industry.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.